Welcome back to the next lecture. Today we are going to see what is phonatory system. In the last class we saw about respiratory system. So just a recap of what is respiratory system. So respiratory system is a very simple process where the lungs receive the air from outside. The alveoli converts the air and gives oxygen to the brain. The brain commands the lung to pump the air out. So when it pumps out, there are two processes happens. One is inspiration and expiration process. Most of the sounds in any language is produced by expiration process. So we get speech sounds through this respiratory system. Now, what is this phonatory system? What are the organs involved in this phonatory system? Phonatory system. Phonatory system includes larynx, vocal cord, and windpipe. Now, let me show you the picture of this here. Now, to get a clear picture of what is phonatory system, you must see this picture clearly. Now there is larynx. See, this is larynx. Most important part. Okay, now coming to the next. So larynx. Now there is a vocal cord. Now what is a vocal cord? See, there is a vocal cord, a small opening. So near the larynx. So this is larynx, L-A-R-Y-X, this small curve. See, there's a bracket like curve. On both sides there is a bracket. See, there is a bracket which we call, there's a bracket, see, and here there is a bracket, and in between the bracket there is an opening called vocal folds or vocal cord, and this bracket is called larynx, and the opening is the vocal cord. And larynx is called Adam's apple. What is this one? We called the Adam's apple. This is, see here, a bulged one. So this is called larynx. This larynx is called Adam's apple, which gets bulged for our bulged in our throat, which we call it a throat. In larynx, there is a pair of lip-like structure, and we call it vocal cord. And this is here. See, there is a lip-like structure between these two larynx. See, this is one and this one, and there is a lip-like structure which we call it vocal cord. So it's simple. If you understand the picture, you will get it. Know what is phonatory system. So the phonatory system include larynx, vocal cord, and windpipe. What is this windpipe? Let me show what is this windpipe. Now, this whole system is the windpipe. So whole system. So in the windpipe we have larynx, we have vocal cord. Okay. So windpipe, larynx, and vocal cord. Larynx is otherwise also called Adam's apple. So it is located on the top of the windpipe. So windpipe, you see here, it is located on the top of the windpipe. See, this is the windpipe from base, from low to top. So larynx is located on the top of the windpipe, and between these two larynx there is a vocal cord. And in the larynx there is a pair of lip-like structure called vocal cord. Good. Now coming to next system. The vocal cord has an opening called glottis. For example, now you see. See, this is the windpipe. Okay, this is the windpipe. On the top of the windpipe there is larynx, and between the larynx there is a lip-like structure called vocal cord, and the lip-like structure has an opening which is called glottis. See, there is an opening which we call it glottis. This vocal cord can be closed or opened. When the two cords come close together, the glottis shut completely. Okay, now look at the picture. See, this opening is glottis. So what is vocal cord is? This one and lip-like structure. When the vocal cord shut, there is no opening. The glottis remain closed. Only when the lip-like structure opens, the glottis, there is a passage for the air to pass. When the vocal cords closes, the glottis, there is no opening and there is no opening for glottis. So the air will not pass. So simple. So the vocal cord has an opening called glottis. The vocal cord can be closed or opened. When the two cords come together, the glottis will shut completely. Now, when we breathe the air, the air gets in and out. The vocal cords opens. The glottis also remain open. The air enters the lung through the windpipe. Lungs pump the air out. During this time, the vocal cords remain wide apart. The glottis remain open. The speech sound produced during this time is voiceless sound. It is also called breathed sound. Voiceless sounds are peel, ten, chin, fin, thin. Okay, let me show it in the picture. See, first, when we breathe, the air gets in and out. Let me show you this picture. See, when we breathe, the air comes here, and it again goes out. This is the process. So we breathe the air, it gets in. Here below is the lungs. The respiratory system is below here, below the throat. So this is the phonatory system, and respiratory system is below. Now the air, this is the larynx. So here, sorry, larynx or the windpipe is here. So this total is the windpipe, and the air gets here and it passes through the windpipe to the lungs. So first process gets complete. Now second one. The vocal cords open. The glottis also remain open. The air enters the lungs through the windpipe. Okay. Now see, when the air gets in, the vocal cords remain open and the glottis remain open, and as a result the air gets into the lungs. Now the lungs pump the air out. Next process, the next process, which is in the respiratory process, which we saw in the earlier slide. So when the air gets in, so what happens is the respiratory system does it function. What the lung receives the air and sends it to alveoli, and alveoli converts it into oxygen, sends it to brain, and brain gives a command to the lungs, and again lungs pumps the air out. The lung pumps the air out. During this time, the vocal cord remains wide apart and the glottis remain open. So again, there's a reverse process. See, again the air from the lungs comes here to the windpipe, and again it goes through the opening. So the vocal cords remain open and glottis remain open, and it again goes. So doing this, the vocal cord remain wide apart and the glottis remain open, and speech sounds is produced, and we call this produced sound as voiceless sound or breathed sound. Peel, so sound peel, ten, chin, fine, thin. So you see all these sounds, we don't breathe the air in, we breathe the air out. So that is voiceless sounds. We call it voiceless sound. Very simple. Now, during the production of certain speech sounds, the vocal cords remain loosely held together. The air from the lungs make the vocal cord close and open rapidly. The sound produced during this time is called voiced sound. Judge, zoo, red, wing, gill examples. Okay, let me explain this with this picture. See, in the earlier process we saw the nose or the mouth, we breathe the air in. So the air comes through the windpipe and goes to the lungs. And the respiratory system receives the air from the outside atmosphere. Lungs gives the air to the alveoli. Alveoli converts the air into oxygen, sends to brain, and the brain gives a message to the lungs to pump the air out to produce speech sound. So the lungs pumps the air out. Now when the air gets pumped out, there are two processes. Either the vocal cord can remain open or closed, and there is in between a process where it slightly opens and slightly gets closed. There is a third process. So if it remains closed, there is no speech sound produced. If it is open, we get voiceless sounds. Okay, the glottis remain open and we get voiceless sound. Most of the sounds are voiceless sounds in any language. But sometimes what happens is this vocal cord neither gets totally shut nor gets widely open. It is in between. So there is a small gap. It gets loosely, there is a loose, it is very loose. In such case, we produce a sound, and that sound is called voiced sound. Judge, zoo, gill, red, wing. So such sounds are called voiced sounds. Now look at this system, phonatory system. Now larynx, vocal cord, windpipe. So through windpipe, the air gets into the vocal cord, and vocal cord is in the top of the larynx. Okay. Now when the vocal cord is open, we get voiceless. When it is open, when the vocal cord is open, we get voiceless sounds. No problem. The glottis remain open and we get voiceless sound. When the vocal cord is closed and open and close rapidly, so it opens and suddenly closes, opens and suddenly closes. When such cases, the sound produced is voiced sound. So phonatory system, there are three important organs: larynx, vocal cord and windpipe. And vocal cord is responsible to produce voiced and voiceless sounds. So voiceless sounds are produced when the vocal cord and glottis remain open, completely open. Voiced sounds are produced when the vocal cord is half closed and half open. Simple. Thank you. Stay tuned for the next video.